What's up, guys, and welcome back to TrapHouseGarage. I didn't really film any of this, but I did end up selling my 99 Ram 2500 Cummins truck. Had a kid offer me something that I felt was really fair. I wasn't really looking to get rid of it, but for what I was offered, I did. And like I said, I really didn't film any. I didn't let anybody know really or anything like that. But as I said, I really wasn't planning on getting rid of it, so it was kind of put me in a bind as that was my daily driver. So I started looking at other vehicles, thought about maybe going to a gas truck this time around. I thought maybe another diesel. I didn't really know what I wanted, or just kind of looking around on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, stuff like that, to try to find something. So I found something I'm pretty interested in, something I've wanted for a long time, and I'm gonna go head out and look at it and see what happens from there. So whether I buy it or not, we'll be back, I guess. I probably won't do any filming there just because some people are kind of weird about that. And yeah, so I'm gonna go look at it, see what happens, and we'll go from there. And just like that, we're back. It was a long road trip. Found some things I wasn't super happy about, but I did go ahead and buy it. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You'll find out in just a couple minutes. But I went to look at it. Everything checked out pretty well. I did really like it. Went to go for a test drive in it, and immediately, as soon as I gave it any throttle, it started making a pretty good squealing noise. And, I mean, it wasn't, well, I guess this is going to give it away, but it wasn't turbo noise. The guy tried to tell me it was, or that he thought it was anyways. I'm not going to call him a liar. But it clearly wasn't that. Tried figuring out what it was. Had no idea, because this is something definitely out of my realm of knowledge. I've never owned one before and wasn't very familiar with them. So we got to looking around. I didn't know what it was. It almost sounded like maybe a vacuum leak or something, just a real high-pitched whistle almost. So we got to looking around. I couldn't find anything that was amiss or that looked wrong. So I jumped on Google, and lo and behold, obviously it must be a pretty common issue with these trucks. Found it right away. So I didn't really know what to do at that point. I didn't really feel like having to fix something like that. It's not a real expensive part, but it's just kind of where it's at that makes it kind of a pain, or seemed to me like it's a pain. Like I said, I've never worked on one of these, never owned one. It might be super simple, but I seriously doubt it. It turns out that one of the up pipes, which, as I said, this is going to give it away if you know anything about these, but one of the up pipes has like a hairline crack in it that once you give it any kind of throttle and it starts moving exhaust gas, it just kind of whistles, which, not a huge deal. Still very drivable. It's more of just kind of annoying, I guess you could say. Other than that, though, AC needs recharged. Ain't no big deal. There's some minor other little things here and there, but I mean, it's not a brand new vehicle, clearly. And for something that's 15 years old, it's in pretty good shape, I would say. Runs and drives really good. Haven't had any issues getting it home or nothing. So yeah, I guess I'll stop rambling and spin the camera around here, and we'll go ahead and look at what I bought this time. Alright, there we go, guys. So, as you can tell, it is a Ford Excursion. It is a 2004. It does have a 6.0, which, as I said, I've never owned, don't know much about them, and I've never really heard good things about them. But I decided to give it a chance, and we'll see if I regret it or not. So far, I really like it. It's obviously huge, and I've always really wanted one of these things. You know, preferably one with a diesel. And I was actually surprised while I was test driving it that I'm trying to unlock the doors. Give me a second, guys. Alright, there we go. But I was surprised on the test drive how much power these things actually have. It's got rear DVD. Seats aren't all ripped up or anything. It is a limited. It's got head unit with navigation, you know, all the good stuff. It does have an edge monitor. It is, I would say, pretty clean. You know, the paint is very good on it, I think, for being 15 years old, especially for being used, you know, as a truck, family haul, or whatever it was used for. It's in very good condition, I would think. Like I said, there is a couple minor things, nothing that really affects it too much. I mean, I'll just slowly fix it over time, I guess. But like I said, I've wanted one of these for a long time, and just decided to pull the trigger on one. You know, it's something super spacious for my son to sit in the back. Yes, it is a mess because he did ride with me, but it needs cleaned. But really, that's about it. I mean, the headliner's even in pretty good shape. It does have LED headlights that are super bright. Like I said, the edge monitor came with it. The good Sony head unit that has built-in navigation and everything. And there's a third row. Like I said, it is dirty. It does need cleaned. I might pull the third row out because, I mean, I don't have 25 kids. And I do plan on using this as a truck, obviously, so I will be throwing stuff in it to haul and whatnot. But for a daily driver, I mean, it's pretty cool. But, yeah, it's pretty hot out here, so I'm going to spin the camera back around and go back in the shop, and we'll talk about it a little bit more. Alright, so I guess what I want to talk about here is, like I said, I've said this numerous times, haven't ever owned one, haven't ever heard good things about them, so I've never wanted to own one. I've had a 7.3. It was alright other than being gutless, but you can't hurt them, partially because they don't make any power. I was kind of looking for a 7.3 excursion, but pretty much every diesel excursion is pretty expensive. I got a pretty good deal on this one, but, you know, I had to just kind of feel it out, I guess. Like I said, on the test drive, it has tons of power. I mean, it's on a tow tune. It is tuned, deleted, studded, coolant filter, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. It's got a Power Max turbo, 150/30 injectors, and just for being on a tow tune, I was extremely surprised with how well it moved for being so big. I didn't know how a 6.0 really felt, but would I have bought one that was bone stock? Not a chance. That would have definitely deterred me away from it. Like I said, I haven't ever owned one personally, but just all the stuff you read online, and there's a reason these companies make bulletproof kits and stuff for these 6.0s, so I would not have bought it if it didn't already have the work done, because it would have turned my good deal into a not good deal if I would have had to pay for all that to bulletproof it. So that kind of made me feel a little better when I went to look at it, that it did have all the stuff to make it live already done. And yeah, I mean, it's the cracked up pipe. The AC needs charged. It does have an oil leak that's coming from the valley. I think I've pinpointed that to be the top plate over the oil cooler. I'm not 100% sure exactly where it's coming from. It seems to leak a decent amount of oil, but every time I check the dipstick, it is still full. So it might not be as much as it seems. I mean, everybody knows how oil is. It looks like a lot on the ground when it's actually only like a couple drips. But I'll either live with it. I mean, all diesels leak. It's not really a big deal. So I'll either live with it or eventually might tackle it. But it's not hard, but it takes a lot of time. There's a lot of stuff that has to come off just to get to something stupid like that, something simple as a gasket change. I mean, the turbo has to come off, intake manifold, alternator, everything. I mean, it doesn't sound hard when you say it like that, but if you've ever watched videos on doing these, it involves taking a lot of stuff off. I mean, it's down in the valley, and there's a lot of stuff on the top of a 6.0. But I am going to clean it up and brake clean the valley, get the valley pretty clean, and then run it and see if I can't pinpoint exactly where it's at. They're, in a perfect world, which I don't have this kind of luck, but maybe a bolt came loose out of the oil cooler top plate and is weeping. I'm not really sure, so I'm going to brake clean it up real good as I can, and then kind of run it and look down in and see where exactly the oil's coming from. It's definitely not on the back of the engine, so I don't think it's the H-pop. It's coming from somewhere on the front of the motor and trickling down the valley and obviously going down the bell housing then and onto the ground. So it's something up front, and really the only thing I can think of to leak oil up there would either be could be the turbo drain, but I don't see how that would get to the front of the valley, so I kind of doubt it's that, or like I said, what I'm pretty sure it is the top plate to the oil cooler. Oil cooler's working fine. I mean, the deltas are about 6 degrees apart, and that's it, and that's on a 85-degree day after 2 hours of driving. So everything seems good. It's just one of the gaskets is weeping oil, and I'll figure it out. Who knows? We'll see if this one stays with me more than a couple weeks or months, or who knows. I've always wanted one. I really like it so far. It's cool. It's different. A lot of people turn their head. But, yeah, for now, that's about it. I'm tired. Like I said, it was a long drive. I didn't do any filming. So, yeah, I'm going to go relax probably, get something to eat, and we'll get working on it here shortly and see what we can't figure out. But for now, that's going to be it, guys. As always, please comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you guys on the next one.